Alright guys, we are back with another episode of East Carolina Pirates Dynasty. What we're going to do here today, I did a little in-depth recruiting video last time, but there's something wrong with the video so I couldn't upload it. However, I am going to take you through the recruiting board that I did set up. Pretty much my recruiting restrictions, just a little background on that. I'm on a 3-star school, so based on that I can do certain things with recruiting, and for in-state recruits I can go after anyone. For pipeline states I can go after anyone as long as they're not higher than the team prestige. And then I also have 3 outsiders that can fall outside of that realm between pipelines and geographical location. Luckily for me, it's pretty simple because my geographical location, I'm also pipelines with those surrounding schools, or they're within 135 miles based on the 3-star prestige. So that's a little background on how I developed those guys. Then going into it, I did a little research on what our team needs were going to be. We have 19 graduating seniors this year, so I'm allowed to add 21 to the recruiting board. We're losing a QB, Reed Herring, so my goal was to try to find an accurate QB given those restrictions. Then halfback, we're going to be losing Darius Penix, who's more of a power back, but I'd like to add a scat back and a power back in this recruiting class, so that's what I'm targeting. Wide receiver, we have 2 guys leaving, and they're probably our tallest 2 guys. The rest of the guys we have left are just shorter, usually like 6'1" or lower, and faster guys. So what I'm looking for in this wide receiver recruiting class is trying to get a taller, more possession style receiver. Give us a little different dynamic when we're running some of our plays. Maybe a guy for the red zone. And offensive lineman, we're losing quite a bit of guys. So I'm basically targeting guys that are better at pass blocking given how our offense is. Then defensively, the D-line, D-ends, I'm looking for taller and quick D-ends because I'm going for 1 to 2 of those guys. Basically, I want guys to get their hands up in the throwing lanes but still be able to get to the passer. And then D-tackle, I'm looking for short, stout guys. I can push the pile in the middle, create piles in the middle, hopefully stop the inside run game, but still be able to be a force and drive that center back into the quarterback. Outside linebacker, my main goal here is to replace a guy like Warren Saba, who is quite a rangy guy. So that's what I'm looking for, someone rangy, someone that's got speed but still can hit and can cover but can still rush the passer kind of thing. Safety, we don't need a lot of help there, but I will be looking for like a ball hawk kind of guy that can sit back there, hopefully develop and become an asset to our defense, working some sub packages maybe. And then we do have a kicker in the wings. Both of our kickers and punters they are seniors, so they'll be graduating, but we definitely need a punter. So just going for a guy that we need to get a guy in there, so, and hopefully he has some distance with him. And then the kicker, like I said, we have a redshirt freshman that'll be backing up Jake, so we have that. So let's take a look at our recruiting board then. Based on those criteria, this is what I was able to find. So Charles Manson, what a name. Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. He was within the 135 miles of our campus. And he's top guy interested in East Carolina. So I added him to the board. Then we have Evan Beverly out of Florida. I'm trying to continue this Florida pipeline because it actually got removed this year. I think we're down to like 4 Florida players, so I'm going to try to create that relationship there. And it was a guy that I looked at, and I like his size, and hopefully what he can, and his accuracy was pretty good for what we're looking for. So we're adding that, and that's probably our only Florida guy, because our main goal, and I'll show you the prospect map after that, is try to take over the East Coast. have pipeline states throughout the East Coast so that we can. I'm not going to try to get too much into the West Coast yet for recruiting, just because it's going to be tough to get those guys to come over. But I would love to get our footprint in Ohio and Pennsylvania area, because there's a lot of talent down there or up there. And then if we can get Florida back, that'd be nice. So those are our quarterbacks that we're going to be going after: Charles Manson, Devin Beverly. Then halfbacks. He's only a 1-star guy, but he's out of North Carolina. He's a home guy. He's a JUCO, so I only have him for 2 years, but he runs a 4.3 4.40. So he is what I'm looking for as my scat back. Well, 5'11", 215, but 4.34. And hopefully I can get him interested in us. We'll see. Chase Roberts, this is our power back. We got him, Hinesville, Georgia, Pipeline State, 3-star guy, 5'10", 216. So that's what we're looking at, halfback. And like I said, we'll see. I can't add or take anyone off until they either lock us out or commit somewhere else. So hopefully these guys can get some interest in us. This top couple guys weren't very interested, but we'll see what happens after the first game and they see us play, because we get to go at Hawaii. And then wide receiver, we have these are two tall guys I was looking at. Roger Spencer out of Georgia, Pipeline State, 6'4", 211. And Stephen Child, 6'4", 207. So very similar body types. And this guy's out of Newton, North Carolina. So both weren't really too interested in us, but I'm hoping to generate interest based on how we play and what they like to see. So tight end, I wasn't going to even go after a tight end, but he's interested in us. He comes from what we used to have as a Pipeline State in South Carolina, and his name is Ronald McDonald. So, and I love McDonald's, so I just had to go for him. He's got good size. He should be a receiving threat. So, hey, we might be able to pair him with Zach Bird next year, a little senior freshman combo, and see if we can make that dangerous. Now, on to offensive linemen. I went some tackles, some guards, some centers, just to try to get a couple guys here. So tackles, we wanted tall tackles that were good at pass blocking. So we got Josh Thomas out of Amherst, Ohio. This is one of our outsider guys. So we try, like I said, try to get a footprint in Ohio if we can get him. He's actually had us first on his list, so I would like, hopefully, to get him in there. Michael Lott's the other guy, homegrown, Beaufort, North Carolina, 6'6", 320. So Michael Lott, I'm not sure if he's in relation to Ronnie Lott. He could be. But once again, they were in the lead, and I liked what he offered to us. Now, these guards and centers coming up, like I said, could be swing guys. Could go from guard to center, center to guard, some of these ones that fill in. Matt Thomas is probably looking more like a starting guard to me. 6'3", 251, pass blocker. This Anthony Everett, 6'5", 320. I'm thinking he's going to be more of a run blocker. But once again, one of these guys that could swing and be part of anywhere on the line. He could probably even play tackle if he wanted to at 6'5". So Cornelius Stallings is probably going to be main center, but he could also play a little guard if we needed him. So these guys, Anthony wasn't interested, but Cornelius had us as first again. Same with Matt. So a lot of these offensive linemen, hopefully we can get in there and replace the ones that we lost. And we'll just have to see. So those are our offensive targets for this year, for 2014. Now, defensively, like I said, I wanted taller, quicker guys on the DNs to disrupt the passing lanes and hopefully get to the quarterback. And we got Yusef Garcia here. He's 6'6", 245, and pretty fast. I think he ran like a 4.78, something like that. So, and he comes out of North Carolina, so I like to keep those guys in North Carolina. Derek Bentley, 6'5", 267, Virginia, which is a pipeline. And hopefully we can get him a little more interested in here. He's got a couple of the ACC schools in there and some SEC schools, but hopefully he gives East Carolina a shot and we can get him a visit. Then defensive tackle-wise, this is where I wanted some stout, beastly guys. And Like I said, this guy, Derek Green out of Georgia, Pipeline State, 6', 328. I love that style. I love that weight combination, height combination. It's something that I'm looking for in that 3-3-5 defense to plug up the middle. And we got a 5'11", 297 guy. So he, similar stature. He's a little shorter and a little less weight, but I think he can get his weight up in the offseason program in East Carolina. Then, who we're looking for our rangy guy, Bruce Whaley. He's 6'1", 220. He's got speed, and I think he can be a Warren Saba type. And he comes from North Carolina, so no brainer. Then we got free safety, Buck Sullivan. This is one of our guys that are going to be out of our recruiting restriction zone, so hopefully trying to get a footprint in PA. We got a receiver from PA, my son last year, so try to develop that relationship there so that we can hopefully spread our wings into that Ohio PA area. Then punters, we got a couple that were interested. One had us first on his list out of Decatur, Georgia, and the other one out of North Carolina. So I put a couple on there because we definitely need a punter, so hopefully we can get one of these guys. They're pretty similar in type. And looks like my game froze a little bit here. I'm sure it'll be back soon. But the other guy, the free safety, Steven Rogers, he was in homegrown talent, North Carolina, 74 overall, 4-star guy. So we took a shot on him, see if we can do anything there. That's what we're hoping for, at least. Okay, so we're back there. Like I said, 6'1", 177, North Carolina, number 4 free safety in the land. I figure we got to take a chance at him, see if we can get him in here, and see if he can be a part of the East Carolina family. So that's our recruiting board for this start of this year. Then I did want to hit up some of this other stuff. We can go through coach contract. Right now, we're B- as a coach rating, prestige, and we're expected to win 7 games this year, so we can see what we can do. So hopefully we can match that goal this year and hopefully exceed the goal is what I'm hoping for. Then we take a look at just a little highlight of our schedule. We set the schedule last episode, but just to lay it out there for you, we're starting with at Hawaii 11:45 p.m. Then we go SMU at home 1 o'clock, at Tulane 8 o'clock, at Memphis 6 o'clock, Houston at home, North Carolina in the Battle of the Carolina series, and then we have a bye. We come home to Connecticut for homecoming at USF, then UCF at home, at Temple, and at South Carolina for the other part of the Carolina series. Then we have Cincinnati at home on senior night. So let's all look at our initial schedule. Got the preseason polls. Check this out earlier. East Carolina is ranked 88th overall, so we got some work to do. But top 10 here: Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Oregon, Utah, and Texas. And actually Notre Dame and Virginia Tech get to play, and it's a rematch of one of the semifinal college football playoff games last year where Virginia Tech beat Notre Dame 38-14. So that'll be exciting. First week of action. We have Oklahoma, Georgia, Mississippi State, Texas A&M, Miami, Auburn, Florida State, Stanford, Virginia, Arizona. And rounding out the top 25, we have Florida, UCF, Washington, Kansas State, and Cincinnati. So a couple American teams in there. So showing Americans a little love. And our conference outlook. They're projecting East Carolina to finish 5th in the American East. And they're saying UCF will match up against SMU in the conference championship. So we'll see if that plays out. I have different plans for East Carolina, let me tell you. Heisman watch, see who's up there. We have senior running back out of Alabama, Najee Harris. Senior running back out of Clemson, Travis Etienne. Junior running back out of Oregon, CJ Verdell. In case you can't see, there's a pattern here. Deshaun McClee, senior halfback, Virginia Tech. And a senior halfback out of the American Conference, Cincinnati, Michael Warren II. We'll see you on senior night, son, if you're there. We'll see if this stays anywhere similar coming up, because there's always injuries or something that happens. So we'll see. Let's take out preseason All-Americans. We didn't have any first-team All-Americans. However, we did have a second-team All-American in Xavier Smith, middle linebacker. So we were able to put a little bit on the map, which will help in recruiting, which will be nice. But there are some guys in the American Conference also, like Cincinnati's Michael Warren, second team All-American. First team, I saw Marquez Stevenson was a first team All-American. So for Houston, so we'll see. And then all conference players, we had a couple guys there. So Deontay Smith, our starting left tackle, he'll be graduating this year. Xavier Smith, once again, he's first teamer. We also have Daniel Charles, first teamer, and Josiah Hatfield is a first team kick returner. So they didn't have Jamel Hickman on here, but he's also academically ineligible for the start of the season. So we'll see if that changes or how we finish. Second teamers, we had Bruce Bivens, our backup middle linebacker, who pretty much played interchangeably with Xavier, especially in a bunch of packages that we have. We get him on the field because he's too talented not. Then we have Devondre Robinson at free safety. So that's the All-Americans for East Carolina here. And then I did want to go to formation subs because we didn't do this. I want to make sure we do it at the beginning of the season. I cleared them all out at the beginning of the season. I usually do that all the time. And just trying to set up where we can have our what we want to do and what we want to have out on the field here. So Carlos Brown is a fullback, 42 overall, but I'm going to switch him out for Darius Penix. That fullback there, I like to get that little option there on goal line. So we'll go backwards. We'll probably try to use like 25 on offense, 25 on defense. I usually use most of those subs. I just try to get a little mix of the guys out here on the field. Zekbird, that's fine. Trips open. Okay, I'm gonna try to get Trace. We're gonna put Demetrius back there. We're gonna try to mix up a bunch of the shotgun trips. Let's see if we can get another. Instead of Henley, maybe I think I want to get Vines out there, and then tray open set. I'm gonna Trace. We're gonna put Penix in there. And then instead of Sneed, let's go with Josiah, get him out on the field in some of these. Spread flex weak. I like to move, so instead of Steve here, my son, I like to put Zekbird out there. Because he can play. He can play that situation there. Spread flex. I think I'm going to get Tay Williams a formation here. We'll leave the rest of that the same. Split slot. Here we go. So we can have Instead of, because right now it's like a power back. We'll leave it that way. Split offset. This one we'll switch it up here. We'll put Darius. Put Trace in. We'll put Monty in there. And then normal Y slot. That's fine. I like Zek in there. But instead of Tyler, let's put Steve in there. And actually, instead of Henley, let's put Josiah out on the outside. See what we can do with that. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, halfback weak. It's fine. Instead of Tyler, though, I think let's move in. Put Zek. Oh, he's already in there. Okay, so instead of that, let's go instead of Blake. Let's put in. Let's get Andre. Some run, see what we're gonna need, because we're gonna need someone. And then Lewis Henley. Let's put in Jonathan Johnson. He's a senior. He's got to get some play. Empty base. Instead of Trace, though, let's put in, let's get Monty out there. Double flex. I like, let's give this to Darius here. And then, let's say instead of Henley, let's go Josiah. Punt, I don't care right now. Pistol, here we go. So instead of Carlos Brown, I'm putting in Penix. Trips 4 wide receiver. I think instead of Henley, I'm putting Zek Bird out there. So we're gonna put him out on that side, one-on-one. See if we can't have a little different situation there. Pistol strong slot. Put Trace Christian, we're gonna put Darius Penix there. And instead of Carlos Brown, let's get Tay Williams in there. There we go. And then pistol strong. I'm okay with that. Pistol spread flex. I'm okay with that. Instead of Trace though, let's get Darius another formation. Pistol ace twins. I say so Henley, let's put in Vines. Let's get Vines and them going. Okay, so that's our offense. Now let's go defense. We'll work in some of these guys. Chance, definitely be starting. Hickerson's starting, and Haji Badri we know is starting. Got them. Xavier, Angus moved over. Swain, Juan Powell, Devondre, Daniel, and William. Okay. So then 3-3-5 Bear. Now here, I want a little more beef up front. So instead of Chandon, let's put in Freshwater. And let's see, I think that should be okay. Alex, I'm just coming up. Okay. 3-3-5 Okie. I'd like to keep those guys on the field. Instead of Angus, though, let's put in Bruce Bivens. Let's make him the other middle linebacker. It's more of a 3-3-4 setup. And okay, 3-3-5 split. And instead of Devondre, I'm gonna put in I like Jaren Rainey here. Okay. 2-3-5 stack. That's our stack right on top there. And I want to take out. Let's go Haji Badri and let's put Faison in there. And then Hickerson. Like to get Freshwater in there. Okay. $326. Now we're gonna have some different play here. This one I'm gonna put Freshwater in the middle. So now we're gonna have Chandon, Freshwater, and Chance on the outside, and then we got Xavier Smith in the middle. Angus. I like actually I'm gonna put Saba in there. I like him in there. And Juan Powell's fine. Lamar Swain is fine. Malik Fleming, Jaquan McMillan, Devondre Robinson. I'm actually gonna put Rainey back there in that setup, and then Daniel Charles, but Devondre Robinson. So switch that up a little bit in the dollar. Goal line. That's fine. Let's go nickel. Nickel 3-3-5. Okay with that. I don't run it too much right now. I'll put Faison in there. Then okay with that. Nickel 3-3 Sam. So Warren's on. Prefer to have Angus replaced with Bruce. Then let's go Chandon, let's go Travion. And then instead of Haji Badri, let's go Chandon. Fine. Quarter 3 deep. We want pass rushers. Get those guys in there. Put Dre Wilson back there with them. Actually, Dan Moss. Maybe we'll give him a shot back there. Can be in our quarter 3 deep. Freshman, quarter normal. Let's see. Jaren Rainey. Devondre Robinson. I'm okay with that. All right. So those are our formation subs. We used about 36 of them, but I like that. Auto save it. And now I already looked at a little bit of a preview. I watched film on the Hawaii game. And pretty much I think we can get to, I have to see if there's any difference here. Right now in Hawaii, I don't think there's going to be. Like I said, wide receivers though are going to be a lot different because they had a lot of seniors on that team. So I think we'll be able to win that matchup this time. Cole McDonald, 91 overall, but I think he struggled when we played against him when we got pressure up the middle. What they like to do is run a lot of hitches, and they like to run a lot of crossing routes, but I think our man defense against them should hopefully be able to do what we need to do, and then we need to get pressure up the middle. So I think we're going to bring a lot of inside blitzes because he doesn't look to run too much. He'll stay in the pocket. He'll try to find the open guy. and they had a lot of success with draws. So if we plug up that middle, force the guys to the outside at the line of scrimmage, I think we'll have success. So that's what we're going to try to do offensively. Get pressure up the middle, get in his face, play man defense behind it, and plug up that middle hole so they don't have those draw plays anymore. Wide receiver, yeah, their main guy is Melky Stovall. He didn't play last game because he was injured when we played him. Jared Smart did get a lot of looks too, but there wasn't a lot. So like I said, I'm not too concerned. There's speed. They don't have a lot of speed guys. So I think we can man up, not necessarily press all the time, but we might in order to take advantage of our physicality on defense. Tight end, they don't really use too much. Offensive line is decent. Yeah, we're gonna have a field day. I'm coming right after that center. We're gonna hopefully make some moves there. And defensively, I think we can look at crossing routes. And if because a lot of times what they do, they're either man right up. They run a 4-2-5, so they're man, but they don't press all the time. So when they don't press, we can get a lot of 10, 12 yard curl routes. But if they do press, that's the time we got to try to use our speed and go deep. As far as defensive line wise, no one really stands out at us that they're going to give us any problems. So we're definitely going to try inside running. The only guy, this is their main guy, Pini Pavihi, he'll be back. He made a couple plays last game when we played against him, but that was really just coverage sacks. But I don't think they're going to be that good this time. So Zach Wilson, he had a good game. We actually avoided him last game, but when we did throw it his way, he actually performed pretty well. He had a pick against a couple breakups, so try to avoid him. But like I said, we're going to play more of the coverage, and the rest of these cornerbacks don't really scare us. And free safety wise, like I said, nothing there. So I'm not saying I'm discounting them, but a lot less scary of a matchup this time around. But we are going at Hawaii, so I'm not sure how our players are going to respond from the long trip, but we'll see. So that's going to be our main game plan. That's what we're going to try to do to take down Hawaii at Hawaii. So that's basically our lead in to the first game at Hawaii. I'll post this video, and then our next one will be taking on Hawaii. And let's get the season started, boys. That's what I'm saying. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.